Hi Sagittarius, welcome. This is going to be for the end of March until whenever you come across this video is when I think that you are meant to see it. So basically just use your own judgment, discernment, see these as maybe sparks of inspiration or just clarity, signs, clues, or anything like that for whatever it is that you're wondering about. So that we would start with the planetary energies, and also if you have time to, you can check out the links below for further visual candy or metaphors for what this reading talks about and the different cards and other clarity, inspiration you might find interesting. So planets, who, kind of energy that we're talking about, maybe overriding this reading. And the signs being what context, and the houses being the area of your life that this energy might be affecting you, or to keep an eye out for. So, for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or if you're just interested in Sagittarius energy, Sun. So there you go. This is you. How you see yourself in the world. You know how you feel about yourself. And your self-expression and how you're communicating that. Signs for Sun in Taurus. Aries was on the bottom. And in what area of life is this affecting Sagittarius energy? The 10th house. 8th house in the bottom. Yeah, so Taurus again is about earthly, our material reality, things that we use or need on a daily basis, and I think it also represents like luxurious things in our life and the things that we enjoy, comforts, what we enjoy having around in our environment, and the 10th house also being your career, so how you see yourself maybe performing in your area of career and public, how you're, projecting yourself in the world. As foundation for Sagittarius is the world. And on the bottom is judgment. So there's definitely a progression going on here. Judgment is also kind of like some sort of coming back to life or hearing a call, wake-up call, like waking up. Can mean like coming back to life in a metaphorical sense. It's kind of about either being judgmental or being judged sometimes, and also music, come to find, sometimes just means music. Sometimes there's an angel blowing a horn, so also talks about, the last judgment, that kind of thing, or, something coming from heaven, hearing some sort of divine, message or something like that, something just coming in, shocking you, not really shocking you, maybe that's more like speaking to the tower, but I think you understand what I'm saying. Something that is just like, hallelujah, now I understand, or just sort of, an alarm on a very mundane level, setting an alarm, or hearing some sort of bell, or, just anything that brings you back to life, in a sense, and just maybe also, something otherworldly, something in the clouds, seeing, looking up and seeing some sort of sign. It's looking for signs and seeing signs. And it's the second to the last card in the major arcana, which leads to the world, which represents the four corners of the universe and the different fixed signs. I think it's fixed signs, and just the infinity, the ever, things coming full circle, cycles. There's two infinity signs, just two batons. It's very much like the end of a conclusion of a cycle. It's balance, polar opposites. It's the infinity. It's the ever rotation, ever shifting movement around us. You stepping through something. It's sometimes I think of a mirror, but it's, I think, especially with this progression going on, some sort of conclusion or something coming full circle. Reduces down to a 3, so you can also talk about love and kind of like, can be giving birth to whatever it is in your life that you're working on, maybe. It can be giving birth to an idea. It can be stepping through some sort of portal into another way of seeing something, opening the door of perception, listening to music, having some sort of, just getting some clarity too, it's together make up 5, so it may be, a completion or conclusion to some sort of change or adventure or something like that. But I also think of the playlist that I've made, and Odyssey playlists that I sometimes reference here, and it's about, this, just seeing things from every perspective as much as you can, trying to translate that into visual, like the links below, visual metaphors for cycles and kind of a retelling of history, just different theories and ideas on how we came to be. I think that's what we're all kind of wondering about, or at least at some point in our life. And so it's just different ways of looking at things, sort of cycling through this major arcana, 0 through 21, because after this starts back at 0. It's another, new beginning. We have new moon in Aries right now, so it's all about fresh starts. I think a lot of Aries actually, Mercury and some other planets, which is just symbolic of, fresh starts all around in different areas of your life, and, just how everything continues to cycle around, and that's what that playlist is also showing. Just different perspectives, different ideas of creation, and how each stage is then like a multiplicity of the previous stage, and just different ways of looking at stories of evolution and creation, and different religious viewpoints, and even incorporating aliens as, possibility. And the wheel the wheel in the major arcana is, spinning both ways, so also representing perhaps like a shift or a change in perception, or a change in way of looking at something, and just ever-changing cycle from, looking at things from one perspective, more, traditional viewpoints, and the opposite, and how it all comes together, just different ways of looking at things. It's, I don't know, it's kind of like going back, also retracing your steps in a creative process and what leads you from start to finish, and also comparing that at the same time to different structures, different even divination systems, but different theories on history and progress, so that you can kind of see the parallels and learn to recognize cycles and, cycles in your own life, cycles in history, but kind of like reverse engineering as well to understand those kinds of things. And I don't know, but they are opposites, so it's kind of like, even with starting at what is usually the beginning, like what led to the beginning in a sense, like chicken or the egg. But I don't know. In that sense, it's kind of like playing with time, mixing time travel, and about communicating that. And I think how you are growing things around you, but I think also being in command of your own universe, your own world, like feeling like everything's coming together, or maybe just sort of stepping through a doorway, getting some sort of inspiration to move forward and making something, how you see yourself, into a reality. I don't know. Let's see. I'll pull one more from here. It's kind of also like the songs in the playlist that I have that represent at stage 20. Just different representations of how you might see that card. The original angel, the last angel, that kind of judgment, and the world, Westworld, and coming full circle, paralleling American progress and different facets of themes and trends I've talked about over the years, and kind of lining up perfectly in timing with different trends we're seeing now. And all fashion is kind of like LA theme, going west and moving into spring also, bringing light to the west in a sense, like, but obviously more metaphorically, and also the card, or stage 12, which is representative of the hangman in the tarot, which sometimes represents sacrifice, so that representing like different events throughout history, and so obviously Jesus, and just that being a major shift in history. And also, though, it's coming from stage 10, it's also showing in the major arcana, kind of representative of the fool, the scientist, the magician, and also the card 2, going back to the start, and then having some sort of perception of the future by retracing your steps as a science. Anyways, Queen of Swords. This is about speaking your mind and speaking your truth and telling it like it is, saying what you want to say, and being honest and cutting to the chase, basically. Sending something out there with good intentions, I think of as well. Pointing upwards, just having some sort of truth, of honesty, of having an opinion and speaking your mind. And it's air, it has something to do with Aquarius, Gemini, Libra energy. I usually think of, since there's page, knight, and then king or queen in the suits, and just how there's 3 different cardinal, fixed, and mutable. It's connecting all 3 of those within yourself and creating those trines, even if your birth chart doesn't have it, through degrees. It's connecting those things in your own way, however it works out for you, especially within that area of your life, to seeing where you want to focus on your emotions, like, looking at the different water signs in your chart and what areas of your life could you maybe focus that energy more so. It's creating that trine on your own so that things flow easily and you're able to like fully tap into your emotions, or fully tap into your mind, fully tap into your creative process, that kind of thing, just kind of connecting the dots in your head. and things coming full circle, hearing some sort of epiphany wake-up call, moments. Eight of Cups was on the bottom, so this is moving on from something or leaving something in the past. Sometimes just taking a midnight stroll, I think of too. And there's the sun and the moon. I always feel like it's kind of saying, even though the sun is life force, it wouldn't be able to, there wouldn't be such a thing as sunshine and, okay, this is getting, I don't know how to explain this exactly, but that's something to shine on, I guess, this is what I'm trying to get at, the importance of opposites and how they work together, night and day. Sometimes I think of it going into another dimension or walking into the unknown. Leaving a trail behind too. 3 and 5 and 8 is about, also kind of resurrecting something or something coming back to life. 8, Scorpio, and can be like changing how you feel about something. Leaving the baggage behind, leaving home, leaving something you love behind, or leaving the emotion out of it, or just kind of taking an analytical approach, I think, of as well, like sort of detaching from the emotion to see something in a different light. From a new perspective, I guess. Traversing the night or the space between. I also think of space between, and with the 2 you can see kind of both. It's like twilight. It's the space between night and day. So they're just blazing a new trail. Kind of that Aries and the red coat. Setting off on a journey, leaving home, like I said. Just see the fog. Kind of unknown landscapes. It's kind of dry. Okay, let's see. This light kind of gets in the way, but it's cozy. Further advice, clarity for Sagittariuses. It's opening up too, I think, and saying how you feel about something, or stating your opinion openly. Princess of Wands. This is about having some sort of creative spark or following your creative vision, that little flame, being able to inspire yourself by just all the things that you enjoy being around, your creative vision. Taking the lead, again, kind of that Aries. This is either, this can be just that fiery energy of signs like Sagittarius, Aries and Leo as well. About using your higher mind as well. Sagittarius being ruled by Jupiter, and just kind of, looking into things that grow your mind, and higher education, higher learning, religion, being an observer of religion, changing minds on religion, seeing things from a different perspective, point of view. I also think of the Olympics for some reason, the torch. This is the Ten of Cups on the bottom. I think these cards came up together before in some other reading, but I don't know. Just when cards come up at the same time together, I kind of wonder. This is 10 reduces down to 1, so, and this is having like total emotional, like completion of feeling supported, loved, just total emotional happiness, kind of cups, like rainbow fields, strawberry fields, that kind of thing. Either on a small scale, like completion of a project, like thank God it's over, I can start on something else, or yeah, just like happy family, like picnics. I think of like picnics in the park, just over the rainbow with happiness, like coming home, you know, waking up, Dorothy, waking up out of some sort of coma or something like that, like, and seeing the world in Technicolor. Some kind of sconce. Kind of reminds me of like the Oscars background. Some sort of celebration too, maybe. Also like sconces on a like old movie theater wall or something, like theater. Maybe going to the theater, hearing some loud symphonic music and feeling elated. But then coming home and starting the day over, and yeah. I added to the world with that playlist, since it goes to 29, and I'm recording this on the 29th. It'll probably be up tomorrow, though. I have my moon in Taurus at 29 degrees, and it's kind of worked out timing-wise as well. In that sense, just, you know, everything kind of following along this theme, and just to show like more of a even further perspective on what could be. I kind of divided up in like what's past, passing, coming to be. Things are always shifting around, you know, and taking on different archetypal stages or events in history. Just kind of finding those different parallels and how everything is just kind of this multiplicity of different energies and different scenarios and different imagery, and how it all works together. Different stages, kind of like my own personal Oscars. For the moment, for the time being. The Knight of Wands was under that. It's 2 fire signs, more masculine, feminine approach. Maybe it's also saying 2 cups, by the way, in case I didn't say this, is about emotions. So again, feeling elated about something. This is also Mars. Just a lot of maybe creative sparks fueled by emotion, feeling happy. So maybe though I should read the Wheel of Fortunes, I kind of skipped that. Maybe I'll read the action doing advice first. Demonstrate your beliefs responsibly. Realize the costs of success. Act like a leader. Use the most direct way, kind of like that Queen of Swords. And become a person of power and status. And the spiritual, emotional, contemplative advice is the creation of resources to maintain your destiny, the gaining of respect for or from the practicality of where you're going, and things brought to life or light resulting from the productivity of your career. So illuminating something as well, shining a light, waking up different energies within yourself, like waking up, like that video, waking up the line sort of energy within you, fire energy, creative, passionate energy within you, to enhance emotion as well. I don't know if this is making any sense, but let's see. It could also be like walking away from the limelight, wanting to get away from things. See, like this can mean orgasm. Hallelujah. There's a lot of different ways that this can go. Kind of like this, like there's a lot of different ways this can go. Oh, this is just right underneath that, and that's also the Ten of Cups. So yeah, happy family, like some sort of 70s like advertisement here, for like, I don't know what, Downy, or the, Cloud9, or, well, Heaven, I guess. This would be more like Cloud9, but you get my point. But just being yourself also, just, kind of opening up, I think of just, I don't know, taking a different route, finding your way home, finding your way back, navigating in the dark, feeling your way through, like, rocky terrain. Seems up to you. Yeah, just feeling good, happy, feeling emotionally satisfied, feeling good about yourself, feeling like yourself, feeling like you know which way to go, what to do. Being like two people coming together. Also think of that, like, So You Come Back Home song from Zayn, and I don't know. Maybe being like some kind of mirror image of something. Princess of Discs. Yeah, so home. I think of that hair from that hairstyle is in one of the videos in that playlist as well. Under a superhero or something named Home Slice. So you come back home, kind of, and kind of think of home. I mean, being the fourth house of home, personal relationships, family, being at home with your family. Finding some sort of, a lot of messages about coming home maybe after work, the 10th house, or like finding that balance between work and home, being comfortable, trying to feel comfortable as yourself in both areas, kind of having that like balancing act, going on. I also think of the Two of Pentacles in that case. You don't even really need cards sometimes, you just kind of just Princess of Cups. So, Princess of Discs, Princess of Cups, water and emotion and water, and also on in an earthly sense. Kind of like I was saying, that moon in Taurus, like that would be one example of that kind of energy. Prince of Wands, again, just riding into action, tires burning, I think of, like, just, here I am, just, sort of, I guess, feeling your way through a little bit, like thinking about before you rush into something, how you feel about it and how it'll affect your environment or your, resources, but this can just be another person with a lot of people cards. Princess, or oh my gosh, the Knight of Discs. There's a lot of people affecting Sagittariuses. The Lovers on the bottom again. So, is that like, wow, I don't even know. There's a lot going on here. Princess of Wands, Knight of Wands, Princess of Cups, Princess of Discs, Knight of Discs, and Prince of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. Some kind of choice. A lot of fire and earth, some water. Maybe two earth signs, three fire signs, one so Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, water, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, earth, another fire card, and they can go about, both ways, and I guess speak, like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different people, or just a lot of, 6 different people in your work environment, in your, like, different identities kind of thing, or more so like this world, the playlist that I made, kind of being able to see and understand the different, like, facets of yourself and the different through a certain medium like astrology, like, so that you can kind of delve into different aspects, what they mean, and how that, might actually be affecting you in your life or not, making that choice, making that choice for yourself, just so that you can understand different ways and perspectives of looking at things, getting into, like, different personalities in a sense, but as a analytical project, I guess, and just being able to then understand people better, understand different situations and factors that go into creating that different, those different situations, those different sides of yourself even, or, just things that make you you, and also what contribute to like, social issues as well, like just different personalities, how they work together, different emotions, different energies, different, comparing it to the sky as well, and just how, cycles and how one thing always leads to another, action, reaction, and just understanding those contributing factors, those different personalities, and talking about how you feel about something or what you think. Seeing all different points of view. all different, because even the Lovers is representative of Gemini, so that's another air. It's another air sign, and this is also has to do with Saturn. A lot of 8 and 10, like cups, 18. That could be the moon having to do with water as well. Moon in tarot is also 18, so maybe 3 days, or also sometimes I think of Major Arcana as houses, like the 6th house, or the 3rd house, 2nd house. Gemini, communicating, talking about your world viewpoints and how you see things going. Just see like the tops of mountains, I think Antarctica. Ice caps. There being more below the surface than meets the eye. Having a lot of energy, a lot of creative passion, a lot of love, a lot of spiritual insights, a lot of emotional insights, a lot of nurturing energy, a lot of practicality as well. But just always knowing that there's more beneath the surface, like an iceberg here. And kind of like a portal as well, I think of, like portal of the mind, maybe. But so maybe 6th house, or something with 2. Sometimes there's a family there as well, or like 2 adults and like 1 kid, and they're both, so it could be a family. And something coming full circle. 318, I don't know. So again, 12-3. Just something lovely, something beautiful in your world. Again, it could be like giving birth, or understanding something, coming to some sort of conclusion or opening, or something like that. Door opening, feeling emotionally satisfied, I think. Like you understand how it's all like working out, or I think just feeling like something's coming to an end in a good way, and like you're finishing something up, maybe. Let's move on to Art of Life Tarot. Forgot about this one too. These are judgments on the bottom. This happens to be that way. I couldn't even plan half of these things. I mean, I'm so surprised how sometimes these videos work out with like song lyrics and things that I put below. Kind of just, sometimes I weird myself out, but for further clarity or energies, Libra Throne, Aries Throne, and Chariot Cancer, Hermit Virgo. Coming out of your shell, I think of. The Hermit's always like searching for something, going below, going beneath the surface to find truth, wisdom, guidance, looking, again, kind of walking through the dark with something and kind of following one step at a time, one foot in front of the other with like one headlight. I think of a bunch of different things with that. Going to some sort of mountaintop again, or just going inward, trying to find some personal strength or insight or understanding. Sometimes just being a hermit. you know, if it's raining like it is, just staying in. But and also like it's a very spiritual card too, and it also is number 9. So this could be you or someone you know, just that Virgo energy. So well, that's odd. So I found out that I was that have a Virgo midpoint, and you get your midpoint. Well, you can do midpoints for any planets, but significant ones are the Sun and the Moon. It talks about your expression and like what you look for in a partner and things like that. Just really the mixture of masculine, feminine, how you really like come together, I guess. Overall, and how you communicate, your communication style, short distance trips and travel, just randomly, but mainly the 3rd house being Gemini, and we talked about 3 somewhere, I think the world, and anyways, and also Gemini here, so how you communicate, your communication style, how you come off to others a little bit. And how the things you talk about and whatever. So, and so I found out my Sun midpoint is Virgo, and also I think of your ascendant and descendant as being another, portrayal of yourself as well. It's kind of like your 1st house, how you're seen in the world. So, it's that balance as well between whatever your rising sign is, and the opposite, again, polar opposites would be your descendant, and the things that you can look into it more if you're interested. But for me and my mom and dad are Aries and a Libra, and again, fire and air, and my ascendant is also Cancer, which is represented with the Chariot, so it's also about travel again. You travel between your rising sign and your 3rd house, or your midpoint, just how you communicate. But being the moon, I said Cancer is ruled by the moon, so just being in control of 2 different energies like that, fire and air, and then water and earth. So that making up for me, Moon and Taurus. And by the way, if you don't like how I compare it to my chart, I don't know I can't really, this is what I have to reference, and it's my time anyway. So I hope it's helpful as like a, for you to understand these things better if you're interested, and how to look at your chart and think about these things within yourself, because I think the more we understand ourselves and how, different facets of ourselves work together, the more that we understand how to best utilize our different energies, our different ways of communicating, you know what I mean. So just be more positive, just a better influence in the world, just being our best selves, I guess, in a very cheesy level, but also 7 being in control of, like I said, different energies, and that Cancer, feeling your way through, it's like this card as well, feeling your way through a situation, and analyzing something as well, Virgo, maybe going inward first to see how you feel about something, whatever situation you're in. I also kind of think of it as a lot of these myths and things that we've been talking about, or that I've been referencing, even the Leda, and birds being significant of spirit, which would be air as well, and the feminine energy, you have the fire and the water, and then just the two different, and then creating earth, that makes sense to anyone else, but, anyways, so it's like, also this is 9, so again, another end of the cycle, and this could very well be this, also thinking about communication, thinking about calling someone maybe, kind of going over things in your head maybe too much, going around and around in circles, not being able to make up your mind or something like that because, I don't know why, but Libra is about balance and trying to make up your mind about something and trying to see, weigh your options and see both sides of, a situation or a person or, a decision, having to balance things, a balancing act, like I said before, connecting the dots. Sometimes there's like a rubber band connecting 2 coins, so balancing finances as well, or just seeing 2 sides of a situation and having a hard time making up your mind about what to actually then go ahead, make up your mind about something like final judgment call on something like on how to move forward, how to, come to some sort of conclusion and that kind of thing. Leading with your head and your heart, using logic and reasoning and emotion and all of it kind of together, finding different ways or however it is for you, to tap into those things more so, like that trine we talked about earlier, I guess, and it's also being victorious. It's also having won something, even if it's like being in control of yourself or something like that. And it's, just being spiritually guided or just having strength, winning something. Finding that center way through, weighing your options. Again, Queen of Swords, so 2 Queen of Swords, maybe 2 people having 2 different opinions or opposing opinions about something. Maybe even taking, Libra often represents the Justice card, and so law, scales, finding maybe also balance and beauty and creativity and the things that you just feeling good at home, rebalancing, recentering when you come home from maybe a hectic day of work, or feeling good when you get home, feeling like you're coming home to a nice place, a good family, like being happy to come home and see the people that you love, that kind of thing. Maybe traveling home from a long distance and looking forward to seeing people that are waiting for you at home. This is also Venus and Saturn, so it's kind of like, I don't know, having some sort of restrictions on love as well, like limits, balance in relationship. Again, more Jupiter as well. Moon and Jupiter. Maybe the aspect between your moon and Jupiter, if there is one. Just expansive emotions, very feeling emotional for others as well. But I think just having control over your emotions mainly, and letting your emotions guide you, kind of like navigating in the dark by the light of the moon, letting your emotions guide you towards success, towards victory in whatever endeavor that you're setting off on, but maybe coming home too. But it's more feminine, like taking a long route sometimes I think as well, from point A to point B, and then there's that straight line, but then there's all these different ways around to see everything from a different perspective, across from both polar opposite sides of the wheel, astrological wheel, and then all the different, aspects and ways of looking at something and different perspectives and ways of understanding the energies of the situation. And so that kind of spiral energy, which is something that also these plays have links to. But if you imagine even also like a box for these energetic plays, that there's a video on Stargates that explain it more. But it's, you know, the four corners of a box, and the different violin strings and all the sounds and energy and shapes that playing different strings create draw your attention to different notes and tones and beats and rhythms. So check those out also if you have a chance. They also coincide with different energies, and one being, I think Virgo is in one of them, and also other fire energy and Capricorn, Taurus. Critical degrees also did one play on, and just those, you know, being areas of life that you can focus on to better draw from. So anyways, that's also something. The Aries, Mars, I mean, there's a lot of that fire, you know, getting things off the ground and running kind of thing, like the Chariot, you know, getting the wheels going, getting something started, a new project, and like getting things off the ground, and just being kind of gung-ho to get something going and start something new, whether it's in, could be any of these things, whether it's like work projects or, you know, a relationship or a creative endeavor, creative idea, maybe a marriage or like a baptism or some new, like, I don't know, celebratory kind of, the Garden of Eden I think of too, with the lovers here. This is not as traditional of a deck, but the other imagery that is associated with this card is Garden of Eden depiction. That's why the whole choice thing. And so some sort of blessed union, things coming together as well. It reminds me of the Capricorn reading that I did a few days ago. And really it was describing very much a lot having to do with that metaphor of Garden of Eden and choice and things like that, and some sort of just being overwhelmed through thoughts, feeling the weight of the world. This might have some sort of crossover with that video if you want to watch that. But it also talks about, between Sagittarius and Capricorn, and going two different ways, getting to some end goal, perhaps very similar, but taking two different approaches, two different paths around the cycle, going about something two different ways. So yeah, there might be a lot of crossover between these videos. Also watching it back, it made me think of like Gucci Garden and the hybrids also that I created for Missoni, and just the different sorts of blendings of energy and distinction and choice and mental clarity as well, and just this can also just be lovers, love, two opposites coming together, being hit by Cupid's arrow, seeing yourself in someone else, or seeing, being, the other's sort of reflection, I think of as well, maybe between Hermit and or any of these other princes and knights, and maybe just within yourself too, things coming together, coming full circle for you, writing, finishing something up if you haven't. This is the art of life. Just get this out of the way. This is the Art of Life Tarot. So to sum up all these different cards and different energies, King of Swords, and the Four of Wands. So yeah, something coming together, something, some sort of celebration, or maybe the foundation, a completion of something. I also think of the Point here in Chicago, really pretty park. If you're visiting Chicago and you want to be by the lakefront, check that out. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. It's all about planting seeds for the future. Every step of the way having playing some sort of role. Harvest time. So think of the quote like, in your season, you'll know the harvest of yourself. You'll, see the big picture, also the world, of you, and all the hard work and things coming together. Seeing the payoff, also I think of. The great virtue is the real courage to face facts and live beyond them. Recognizing things, again, kind of like waking up and being very, just truthful, honest, and just sort of saying it like it is, having an opinion. This is Robert Louis Stevenson, and that was D.H. Lawrence. Red Vineyards at Aries by Vincent van Gogh, 1888. Moscow, Russia, the Pushkin Museum. Maybe you're traveling to Russia, or looking forward to something in the fall. Sagittarius is associated with autumn. Establishing something, establishing foundation, or establishing a home, maybe moving in to a new home, a new place, building something up. I think the coming together, there's sometimes, again, kind of like a stage, so it could represent, again, like a performance, and there's two people under a canopy and 4 spokes, so it's, the 4 corners of something, and having a space to celebrate, or clearing space, making room, moving into something, into a new home, and they're dressed in red and blue, so it's again that fire and water energy coming together, fire and the flood, a formation of something. Some sort of celebration, maybe at home or a party. Just putting in the work and seeing the payoff in little bits as you go. Ace of Swords. I am not afraid of storms, for I am learning to sail my ship. This is Louisa May Alcott. And the Breezing Up, A Fair Wind by Winslow Homer, 1873 to 76, National Gallery of Art, Washington, D.C. So maybe a connection between D.C. and Russia. I think Breezing Up, A Fair Wind, I think of, also since I mentioned living here in Chicago, it not being the windy city because it's super windy here, but it can be by the lake, but or the political winds that swept through, the 1930s or something, and that kind of thing. Or maybe going sailing with family, going on a vacation, some sort of home away from home. I just think Bahamas for some reason too. Just working in a field. Again, this is Aries, so start of a new season, beginning of something new, and swords again being thoughts, so a bit of information or something coming to light, or new idea, a new thought, some clarity, focus, direction, communication, something very at the beginning, beginning of Aries season maybe, beginning of about now in the astrological wheel. But so that would be now again, end of March, 3. Yeah, said 3 earlier, so that's, think of getting some sort of Medal of Honor, like just having like a sort of clear head about something, or seeing something clearly. Being very like mentally solid or clear on a decision, moving ahead, 4 also I think of 4 of Wands being fire, and the Emperor also is like a lower form of the Emperor in the minor arcana, so the Emperor can sometimes mean Aries as well. Emperors also represented the Rams, and the Ram being first, Aries, but also 4 in the major arcana, so kind of cross-reference in the world there, kind of cross-reference with, there as well. 4th place, 2nd place, just 2 things coming together, different ideas, cross-referencing something maybe. Also just Mars maybe in the 2nd house, or Mars in some sort of air sign. I have Mars in Libra, so that makes you very passionate about peace and justice and balance and fairness and that kind of thing. It's avoiding being passive aggressive and just saying it like it is. Saying what you want, being clear. Maybe just having a conversation, coming together, having a conversation. Cloudy, like kind of cast over day, I think of spring weather as well there. So maybe visiting home as well, the 4th house, and 4th house being ruled by Cancer. So close friends and family and really that opposite between the 10th house, and finding that balance point that between work and home, I guess. Again, juggling some things, or maybe 4 degrees, like looking at your birth chart, and we have the sun here, so that works out here too with my chart, 4 degrees and the sun at 4 degrees. So just seeing how, for you, how those energies might be playing out. Not mine, but 4 degrees, where if maybe you have 4 degrees somewhere, and that's something to focus on or look at, or looking at what's going on in Cancer, or your Mars sign, and what those might be affecting in your life. Seeing things in different contexts, opening your mind to what's possible as well. Letting your mind be a thoroughfare for all thoughts, like John Keats says. This is 38. Again, some sort of spa, or dipping your toe in something. Resting, taking a break, being like it's some sort of peace, serenity, like 38:11. A gateway, a doorway, stargates. Again, if you're interested in watching that video, just me talking about some theories that I have, and explaining some of the projects I've done in the past, and also talking about some of my little projects that I have going on right now, and things that are in the works that I'm excited about. It's a picture that I did when I was little. That kind of reminds me of the different planetary energies that I have in my birth chart. Finding little connections, things to your past, maybe. Maybe resurrecting some old ideas. Just taking time, like a time out for yourself, like not paying attention to the clock. It's also kind of think of like Alice in Wonderland kind of thing, like stepping through some sort of, again, doorway, Stargate kind of thing, you know, again, whatever that is to you, however you get into that sort of meditative or restful, serene state of mind, I guess. You know, different ways of doing that for different people. But that's what, like, you know, on a more mundane level, that's what Stargates, that kind of thing, I'm kind of explaining as. But, yeah, just finding somewhere peaceful to take a break and think about things, or here it is. Just being at peace. Maybe Arizona. 38. So it's 38, inner peace. It strikes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Enough, dear watch, thy pulse hath beat. Enough, now sleep and rest. When thou couldst make time to do so, to wind thee up no more. So maybe just being exhausted, or maybe a new watch, or just, yeah, taking some time out. That was by Ben Jonson. It's funny, that's my mom's like maiden name. Common name though, I think. Which also makes me think of the Emperor as well, since she's an Aries and Mars in Aries, and Emperor also reminds me of Odin in Norse mythology with the two ravens. And funny enough, one of my family ancestral like last names not only has like an interesting history attached to it, but its meaning is raven. How weird is that? And I've done projects about birds, so everything kind of just comes full circle and just plays out. I don't know, it's interesting. It's like playing with time, like I said earlier, and just seeing how we do that. It also makes me think of the Azca wheel and how that's considered a wheel of time, and about time travel. And they're comparing it in something, you'll find the episode below, put it below, but comparing that to, I don't think they compare it to the astrological wheel, although they could have, but, well, you know, just cycles in general, all these different structures of cycles, and comparing them all, finding some sort of common ground, but also comparing it to the Hadron Collider, which I hadn't heard about, but, colliding particles and creating new energy and masses, and the God particle. And in my opinion, that would be these different midpoints and them creating openings, little windows of, you know, seconds of time that we have to traverse the universe, and timing that, you know, just perfectly, as that's probably why we don't see them, because it's always shifting energies as planets shift and cycle. Finding those midpoints, being able to track them down to the second, and being able to walk through little portal, I think, and time travel. You know, coming back from the future, or something like that. I don't know. Oh, I didn't even read the card. Maybe what's the movie? Back from the Future, or we are lost in the moment, staring into a void, utterly engrossed and transfixed on some specific point or action in the distance. It is this state that we are oblivious to time and reality. Some sort of state of oblivion, and just getting that flow state of just being very you know, in sync also I think of with time. 369 or something. A young woman seated on a column platform stares at a dragonfly settling on the lilies below. Its movements become the focal point of her concentration, transforming her into a calming meditative state in which all other distractions are removed, and the numbers on the clock above float away. The recording of passing time temporarily on hold. She's at one with her universe, like the world, universe. Sometimes what is called in the talk deck as well. All worries, concerns, negativity fade. In this captured moment of escape, there is only stillness and peace. So, yeah, finding that little paradise for you, having your own little heaven on earth or way of getting there, you know, an oasis, some sort of saving grace getaway or something like that. Taking time for yourself, feeling at home with yourself, feeling good and relaxed, and taking a vacation maybe. I don't know if there's anything else. That was on the bottom. Curious. This is like the shortest reading of all of them. The one, Aries. So this is being you, being the first, being the, you know, first version of yourself. How do I explain this? Like, yeah, being unique, I guess. Being that person that no one else can be, no matter how hard they try. Yeah, just opening up, shining. I wish there's like less cliche ways of saying these, you know, descriptions, but yeah, just the cauldron also I think of, coming out of a cauldron, you know, of something being burnt away to its essence, and then coming back, phoenix rising from the ashes, calcination, beginning of a cycle, the alchemical cycle as well. Maybe even hot tub time machine. There we go. That's funny. Yeah. So coming full circle with something, seeing different ways of looking at time, utilizing your time well so that you can get away, enjoying the different sides of yourself that are good at different things, you know, so you can draw out the best and most unique version of yourself in your work, in your environment, in yourself, at home. Some sort of gate, going from this to that, you know, from a little bit closed off and just looking inward, and here again, another cauldron with like doves coming out of it, so I think of doves, more peace, and just then opening up, not, I guess, burning. It's not baby or a firework, you know, like just, it's funny, I think Katy Perry's a Sagittarius, where, yeah, sometimes I look up the birth charts of the different people that I put in these playlists to see if they actually do coincide with their placement in the major arcana, and like what those placements represent in astrology. Just, you know, I'm bored, I guess. Always trying to find new things to do. Yeah, just taking all those different avenues, all those different just curiosities, and turning them into something, something artistic, you know, finding out about something more, just being interested, you know, being interested in something, and passionate. You know, it all comes from an idea, a spark. There wouldn't be a world, basically, the world that we know, if, you know, people weren't being inspired and sparked with ideas and of inspiration to create newness, like all that Aries energy, all that newness, and being the first and moving forward and burning, blazing a trail. And so working, I guess, as a Sagittarius, working with that, maybe through, like I said, like more spiritual studies, or using your higher mind and like letting that be your driving force or your vehicle towards being new or innovative. Just, I think, being like all inclusive as well. Leo, maybe second house, I think I said that. It also talks about your value, so and your resources and the things that you have at your disposal to use. And your value, what you place value on, with all this fiery energy and like earthly, and it's like I feel like it's very much placing value on creativity, on ideas, on things of that nature, and wanting to protect it because you value it. I mean, it makes sense, right? And so, but then ultimately just kind of coming out and being open with what you are creating, trusting people have integrity, that kind of thing, just being open with each other, and so that, like, we can all help each other become something better versions of ourselves every day, all day, planting new seeds, new ideas, blazing new trails, creating newness from hybrids and, opposite energies, and even, as a multiplicity, going back to the world or anything like that, like multiplicity of something else, and how just as a foundation, basically, the universe must have come about through those mergings of energies, those midpoints, the combination of two things, finding that creation, moving forward with some new idea or something like that, and being in control of those two different opposing energies and reining them in, creating a third energy. Being able to look at yourself and see maybe how far you've come. I just thought of that, like, Shania Twain song, I think, like, how far we've come. Being proud of yourself, seeing where you've been victorious, successful, again, maybe coming full circle with something, feeling very inspired, creative, in control, and just being open to new things, being emotionally, creatively, spiritually open, I guess, open mind, talking about beliefs and things like that, so that new ideas can form. So think of like baking. We have so much fiery energy here. I also think of just other different cards in the tarot deck, like Temperance, and we did have some 8s here, so like the Strength card and things like that, and being, just in harmony, mind and body. Sometimes another card is called Lust, so it's just kind of like, I don't know, having this like lust for life or something, just following all those curiosities, those little sparks of wisdom, of insight, of something that just sparks your mind, that makes you think or see something in a new light. I don't know. Is there anything else I was going to say? I don't know. Maybe Taurus. Taurus is also the second house in the, or not house, but second card in the major arcana. So and that's also 20 reduces down to a 2, so it's kind of like the High Priestess maybe versus the Judgment card and that kind of thing. Just seeing how there is all these parallels in situations and events in life. We have the Five of Cups. Connecting to your destiny. Seeing where you're going clearly, even if it's, step by step. It's got really windy. All that air energy. Being practical and productive and finding new resources, new things to use. Even if it's, talking about astrology, even if it's just, tapping into different energies, different facets of yourself to give yourself that sort of creative freedom. Being a leader. Even if it's within yourself, just sort of making sure you're being disciplined with yourself, that kind of thing. Gaining respect, things brought to light or life, being, always as much as you can on the up and up and, doing things right and being clear, being yourself, being honest, truthful, even like being like a kid sometimes, finding the joy, just the fun in activities and creating new things and just maybe also shining a light on something, that's been in the dark before, or bringing something to light, basically. And yeah, Aries, Libra, air and fire, not being manipulative with, all that mixture of passion, creativity, and mental acuity and that kind of thing. Finding that balance to use it towards a good end, Queen of Swords again, Virgo, also Earth and Air, maybe, so many people, maybe you're involved with a lot of things going on in your life, especially in your career, so finding a balance between people, maybe mixing and merging different energies, people to work with, mixing things up, finding stability with someone also, maybe in relationships, just being very much also there for someone, or just being complete in yourself, over the rainbow again, happy about something, or seeing the whole spectrum in everything, in others, within yourself. Wizard of Oz, coming home, having a wake-up call, waking up, seeing things in color, seeing the light of day, or something like that. Blazing new trails, setting off into new adventures, maybe with someone else because of the Four of Wands, or within like the home, like taking the weekend off, even spending time with people, coming together, I think of as well, which is very much in the alchemical cycle, representative of the 7th stage, which is the end of a cycle, and so again, starting new on something, and the Garden of Eden also is very much the symbolism within that, so of that imagery, even this kind of is like, and the Lovers, Gemini, just we coming together through some sort of communication. Twins also, I think of, seeing the other side of something, someone else's other side, opening up, someone, coming together in love, being watched over as well. But yeah, again, the Lion and the Eagle, and so Scorpio and Leo, just having that balance between water and fire. 6 again, about your daily life, maybe Virgo again. How you want your home life to be, imagining that. Also imagine your future with someone, also with the 4 of Wands, and your thoughts, maybe starting something new, going somewhere new, dreaming even. There's the 4, be a 4 Ace of Swords, King of Swords, and 4 of Wands, but really 4 weeks, maybe a month, 1 month, yeah. So maybe something significant happening within a month, or it's the start of something brand new, and you're excited and you're thinking about it, you're dreaming about it, maybe even with this is a sword, but there's water, and so dreaming about it, lucid dreams, I think, and also maybe that's a fun ad campaign, lucid dreams, or also for an app or something, being able to navigate a dream. Yeah, navigating a dream, or navigating something in the dark. Maybe a very competitive landscape or something, or rocky, again, like I said. Flying over the water, flying over the waves with ease, with style, where it's fun, it comes full circle with this whole project, I think, where I started back in, what was it, a long time ago. I had a video going over the wave, it was back in August or something, maybe, getting by the water, being by the beach. It's one of my favorite places to go, especially in the fall, just having that sort of cloudy skies, but being by, it's very crisp weather, and being bundled up in sweater weather. Yeah, favorite times of year, autumn, that would be very much my favorite time of year, and that's, Sagittarius month, November, December. So anyways, yeah, we're at nearly birth time, actually. That's funny, 11/26. Yeah, things coming full circle. I'm sure, I think messages are broad enough so that you can relate to them as well. And, it's a little hard to separate when it's for you, and I don't know who I'm talking to, so knowing yourself and utilizing all your gifts and talents and things like that make you happy, make you feel like you, just being maybe even a light to others, or letting spirit guide you, and feeling just alive, I guess, or I don't know what the right way to say it is, but just being yourself, and feeling connected to different elements or something like that, or just connected to nature, connected to shifts, connected to time or memories, drawing from that, understanding yourself, understanding others, understanding time, stuff like that. So, and that is, a lot of what I've been working on as well, and searching for answers and things like that, and to, mysteries and things of life, but also, seeing how that reflects on our lives and just different cycles in time, and finding parallels, and yeah, like searching for our origins and different connections, linkages, and just finding some emotional satisfaction from that, I guess. But yeah, you can see how different messages mean different things to different people, and I've been glad to share, how it is for me and why some of these things are just so strange, how they come about. But yeah, just seeing that there is some sort of mystery to life, and embracing that mystery, I think, too. And you do have 2 signs, so maybe connecting with someone else as well through talking, through, even spiritual type things, or mental, like telepathy or something like that. Just being connected to someone else, knowing things, speaking truthfully, speaking honestly, opening up, knowing that, you'll be, I guess, just like trusting that everything kind of works out in that way, when you're being yourself, truthful, honest, and open, having opinions, making one, having one on about something, and speaking your mind, and embracing that, not being like ashamed to say what you think, and not being, not being closed off or quiet, or keeping your mouth shut, or turning a blind eye towards something that you have an opinion about, because it is what moves us forward, is to have an opinion and to make changes, and be a light to or protect others even too, and just move forward with whatever situation you have going on, with balance and grace and understanding, and not being judgmental, and being open-minded, so that there can be growth and new understandings and new perspectives that can only, help you to see things in a broader perspective and grow your mind. It's evolution of creation, it's a balancing act. It's being original and the first with everything that you do, because you're listening to your own guidance, your own memories and experiences, and your own passions, and the things that connect for you, so that there's no way that it can't be unique and individual to you, towards you, but also as a reflection, perhaps, or as in alignment with shifts in time, and cultural shifts, and always finding that steady progress through, or across, or forward, whatever it is that you're doing, so that it's as much an authentic expression of yourself as possible, and feeling happy and satisfied with that, so that you can also see how you are growing and developing, and just being open to furthering that, growing more, and allowing your mind to expand towards whatever else is possible, and having that fresh start with whatever it is that you choose to take on and feel good and happy about, and just being the light side of things, the positive side of things, and looking forward, being progressive, being innovative, looking for opportunities, looking for chances to learn something new and follow little sparks of creative vision, and seeing where they lead and how they build on one another, because somehow they're all connected to you, because they were interesting to you enough so to follow those leads, So somehow being some sort of reflection of your life and understanding how everything is interconnected and in that sense, and just having a broad mind so you can see what's past, passing, and coming to be. Anyways, I hope this was helpful. And I think I didn't say I was going to follow this entire series with a creative reading, so I still may do that, or if something else comes about. But either way, if you have any comments or if this resonated with you, please feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I hope you have a great end of March and brand new beginnings.